Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back with the American Homeless Holocaust. It's apparently this is the end, my only friend. The end of everything. That's the end. Yeah, apparently this is it. Very fatalistic final kind of vibes here. It's very dramatic. There's a lot at stake. There's tension in the air. Paul has never done a video like this in all his time that he's been making videos. So yeah, basically you're being manipulated right now. This is like Paul has a fascination with the human state of mind, human psychology, coercion, manipulation tactics. So if you're the kind of person who comes to these videos like only seeing like the surface of this guy, you're getting manipulated. You're just being led down a garden path. Like, this is not the end. But I say that now, like, knock on wood, it might be the end. Let's see.
Dear Diary.
Dear Diary.
It is June 1st.
Time is really flying at the moment. I can't believe it. Every time I look at the calendar, it's like, shit, where do you go?
And with that, I'm going to lose most of the money that I have remaining for my monthly bills to pay for storage, which I am most likely going to lose at the end of June anyway. I do not...
Yeah, it's his baby. If this goes, everything else goes, and life isn't worth living over boxes full of just like random trash that you couldn't even sell.
I want to be alive to witness, on top of all the trauma I've already been dealt by this company. I do not want to be alive to witness losing all of those things I have in storage. So, thus begins the end game here. I have done everything I can with the limited time and resources I have available without...
You have done literally nothing, Paul. That's the rub, is like, you listen to these videos and you don't know much about this person in particular, and you are like ready to have your heartstrings pulled on and tugged, and you're going to feel some sort of way for Paul, but you're not really ever going to give it another thought. You're just going to take what he's saying at face value as, yeah, he's probably gone through everything he can possibly do to better his situation and get right with the world and move on. And the world has just like spat him back out, chewed him up, spat him back out into this car, and there's nothing else to be said.
Without having...
And yeah, I've seen people in his comment section in his older videos who are very, they will defer to him a lot, and that they will look to give him money and they will look to help him out. And you're thinking like, are you okay in the head? Like, are you watching the same videos I am?
Access to power. I have 24 hours in a day like everyone else, but I only have a couple hours a day I can actually do anything in these circumstances. I've done everything I can on this channel to document as accurately as possible.
Yeah, I think the problem with the details is that it got to a point where he repeated it so many times that I think he couldn't keep track of the story properly, and it kind of got away from him in the end. Yeah.
What this company has done, the crimes they have committed, what this backstabber did.
The backstabber.
The dog tags and other information that will go to authorities includes a lot of other information.
Yeah, he's done this a million times. He's giving the final will and testament. He's giving it. This is the manifesto. This is what people are going to be finding on his body being located or whatever. Is this info dump? Everything that you need to know. It will make sense to the federal agents that are combing through every little bit of this because apparently something has happened that the feds need to be involved with, which is kind of crazy because I'm thinking if he's just passing away in his vehicle or unaliving in the vehicle, it's going to be a local law enforcement thing, and it's going to probably be a very open and shut kind of case. But whenever he does these videos, he hypes it to the point is like, yeah, the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, and the White House are all going to be on the scene. And it sounds like it's going to be a lot more, involved than simply passing away in a vehicle in the middle of the woods in another state.
Because my goal here is to present this information publicly. And as I've said all along, I'm not going to mention the backstabber's name. I'm not out.
I think you have. I think I've heard the name before. I feel like I know the name, but I feel like I've heard you say it, and I've not really picked up on it, but it's out there.
To personally hurt that person at all. I don't want them to be hurt.
They're already hurt, Paul. I can tell you that.
But I want justice.
Justice.
They have earned justice. But I have to let that be done through.
Yeah, I think he said in one video, is like, I want them to. He wants divine punishment to be rained down on them. So, what is divine punishment? It's the end.
Through the justice system. The company is.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you want it to go through the justice system, fair trial. And he hasn't said in previous videos that I want them to hang, I want them to ride the lightning, I want them to be shot. That kind of bullshit.
It's another story because they deal publicly and they forced me for many years to do things that I found absolutely despicable in terms of how we treated our own customers.
Yeah, like despicable for Paul was basically hurry up with the sale, close the sale, don't get too involved with the sentimentality of making sure that your customer has everything and anything that they need, and like also don't try direct our customers in the way of going to our competition, which I'm pretty sure Paul was up to because he wanted people to have the best equipment and the best deal. And anyway, that's the crimes of this company.
So the company will be known, and they should be known.
I think it would be good publicity for them, honestly. They're not very big, so it might help them grow.
And that is why I want to, again, certify that everything I've said in these videos has been truthful and accurate to the best of my ability to make
It's true and honest.
Make it so. I have no desire for it to be anything other than that. That doesn't help me one bit.
It reminds me of the Cyrax cycle, if you're like familiar with Chance Wilkins. Chance gets like bullied and they buddy troll him hard, and he gets to a point where like maybe Marty's pulled one on him again, and he makes makes these videos where he's like, "Hey guys, I'm sick of the trolling. I'm sick of it. It's a direct assault on me and my family, a direct danger, and I'm getting off the internet." And he never does. Like it's just like an endless loop with Cyrax. That's why I kind of fell off with Cyrax. I couldn't watch any more of his videos because he just gets on these cycles where he gets like obnoxious, he gets like tricked, and then he gets like very remorseful and he wants to quit and step away from the internet, but he never really does. And Paul is, similar in a way.
If I'm not telling the truth. But with that...
What is the truth, Paul? Very, very subjective.
I'm at the end. And it
Yeah,
may be very soon when I have to leave this place and head out to the wilderness. And
I'm trying to look around. Like, I've looked around on the map in a previous video. Maybe he can go north through Canada and then up by Alaska. And did you ever see that movie by the guy, I think the Pearl Jam guy, Eddie Vedder? Maybe he just did the music for it. Where the kid, he came from a very affluent family, and he kind of like he's bored with that life. He's bored with having everything on a silver platter, and then he goes and hikes across America and does all this wild stuff. And then he decides he'll go live in a bus up in Alaska. And then what happened to him? He was very ill prepared and naive. Like, he didn't really have his survivalist knowledge down, and he ate some poisonous berries and end up, having dysentery so bad that he died. But maybe Paul could like just go up to the great like white north, find some abandoned bus. They got rid of the bus. That's all I know. They I think the Alaskan authorities like came in and said, look, we got to get rid of this bus, or it's attracting so many tourists and people like hiking through this area. It's probably like bringing in bears and shit.
nobody watching this channel is going to know what happened.
Well, if what you say is going to be the way it ends is you we know the car. I'm pretty sure we know the license plate of this car. You're going to go to another state to do this. Yeah, you've made it very clear what you're going to do. You're just going to like go into the wilderness. He's going to have to abandon the car. Like, this is not a 4-wheel drive car. This is not going to be going on like some rough tracks, off road, and like up a mountain or something like that. He's going to have to abandon this car.
I do want to say one thing, though.
Yeah.
I posted this because I needed a public place to post this information to aid in the investigation and prosecution of this company and the backstabber.
Yeah, all your evidence is just junk, Paul. You have no compelling argument. Like, this isn't going anywhere. This company isn't really like liable for anything. They're not culpable for your unaliving, your end. You did nothing to really help yourself out in any meaningful ways. You certainly bellyached on the internet a lot. You certainly uploaded a lot of videos about your situation and talking endless shit, but you really didn't help yourself, and this company is not responsible for you, Paul. You were fired, justly or unjustly, like whatever the case may be. You just like have to move on with your life. You have to go in a new direction, find a new job that's going to be suitable for you, that you can do, and you might have to humble yourself. You might have to go work in a gas station and be a cleaner, or like stock shelves, or whatever the case may be. You humble yourself, you build up your finances, you get yourself a little bit more centered in your life, and then you can maybe consider getting a new job within the music industry or something like that.
The crimes that they've committed, for what they've done with malicious intent. And under the circumstances, I think I've done a pretty good job with it.
No, you went too far, Paul. You went completely over the top with all the details, and well, the details are vague. You've never really mentioned anything in anyone specifically, so it's hard to get a gauge on anything that way. But the details of this story have like morphed and evolved, and like I think I said in the last video, like become like a Frankenstein's monster of, you know, elaboration, exaggeration, and flair and fluff, where it's just the information's like too much now. You needed to simplify it.
It's a lot of material. I wish it wasn't, but it has to be by the nature of something that impacts what I spent 7 years doing.
At least he's getting the 7 years thing correct now. 7 years he was at that job. 7.
And sometimes you have to reinforce things by repeating things several times.
Oh my god. So he's in full acknowledgement that yeah he constantly repeats himself, constantly says these things over and over again. Yeah, weirdly cogent for Paul. And yeah, like people are saying, oh no, he's completely out to lunch. This guy, he's got no like logical faculties left. He's completely mentally blown away. But no, he does have a lot of rational thought left in him.
But my goal was just to post it here so that it was available. And much to my surprise, I've had to date over 800 people subscribe.
Shit.
I would like to believe it's not because they're all just...
Yeah, his previous channel has like I think 1.1k. This channel has 800. The other channel for the music gear was like maybe 200. So he's, yeah, I want to say he's going to probably crack maybe 2k with all the channels and the channels I don't even know about. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good run. That's a pretty good run. It's probably like bots and shit and like people that will never interact with the channel.
you know, interested in watching somebody die.
I do have to acknowledge, so while like linguistically he's going to like get you into this like headspace of I'm dying, I'm being killed, murdered, stabbings, shootings, bombs blowing up on him. He's if you do go back to his older channel, I think it's the homeless consultant. And you look at him from a few years ago, he's very full figured, very full faced. He's got like a lot more color in his skin. He has actually lost. He's dropped a lot of weight, and he's become very gaunt. He's not so full figured anymore. He's still like overweight, but he has like lost a lot of weight in his face, and he's obviously not getting any great nutrition. He's not eating well, so he is dying in a sense. He's dying very like slowly. Um, he doesn't have any dependencies. I will believe the fact that he's not an alcoholic, he's not a drinker, he's not a smoker. So his organs should be like all his vital organs should be relatively healthy, relatively okay. He drinks water from the gas station, I guess. So his body shouldn't deteriorate from like the side effects of like a bad lifestyle. I think Paul lives a pretty clean cut lifestyle, so he's just dropping weight.
But because they actually care about the issue here. Because the issues I'm raising with human resources and the unrestricted power that they wield to destroy people's lives and things like that, these affect everybody. They affect everybody and anyone out.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, well, there has probably been many issues, like many instances of good people being fired by like malicious HR departments, and I think it isn't absolutely a thing. Like there are probably very evil intentioned HR departments that are like out to do damage against a certain type of person or people. Um, I think that's so much to like. I believe that is true, but I think Paul definitely muddies the waters with like his issue.
Out there, just like me, in an instant, can have your life completely annihilated just as surely as if someone came up and shot you in the head.
Mm.
In an instant, the door's locked and your life has ended.
Yeah, like knife, gun, atom bomb.
it could happen to anybody out there. But because of that, because I'm really surprised there's over 800 subscribers, I do want to take a moment to speak to those people.
Speaking directly to my soul. I'm feeling we have a connection here. I'm ready to hear everything he has to say and be manipulated and coerced.
And I just want to say thank you.
Oh, I'm thinking of all the bullshit like YouTubers who they fucked up, they touched a kid, or like they harassed someone sexually in some Discord chat, and then they come on their channel and it's like, I I am so sorry. I don't know what came over me, but I want to thank you for always being there for me.
And I don't know what else to do anymore. I honestly don't know what to do anymore.
I really do appreciate it.
It's alright, Paul. All good.
And I hope you learned something from this.
I have learned so much from you, Paul. Actually, I've learned a lot. I mean, even in your last video, like, you're still dropping things like I would have never imagined. Like, this guy right here is part of the reason why your flight travel and airline safety is of a standard it is. Like, it's the safest way to travel is because Paul was a pioneer in collision detection. It's wild. It might be true.
Not just in my own personal story, that's just my story. But I hope you learned some important facts and things to think about that are much broader, that impact everybody out there who is subject to this reign of terror from human resources and corporate inhumanity in general. I hope that in the end it will do some good. But I do want to say thank you to those who have subscribed. I'm surprised and I'm honored. And
Yeah, he does have like a weird fan community. There are people like who are very willing to hear Paul out and get on his side on almost every issue. I'm thinking like it's just contrarian bullshit. Like people out there is like, I'm gonna really get on Paul's side, and anyone who comes into this chat, like his old channel, still has comments up, and yeah, if you do go through it, you will see these weird people like really, really concerned for Paul, and like he has obviously manipulated them just enough to have them like around his little finger.
I'm grateful. And for now, that's all I have to say.
For now, like, and probably tomorrow's video is like going to be a completely different topic. He's not even thinking about this anymore. He's probably thinking about like some prog rock album from the 80s or the 70s or 80s that he's like fascinated with, and he'll go on about that or something. It'll be like something completely detached from this video, and you'll forget about this video, and then 3 months down the line when it's a little bit more dire for Paul, he'll make another video like that, and then you'll be like, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. All right, that's it. Short one today. Whether or not this is the end of this channel, who knows? I'm going to keep going through his channel, his current channel right now, the Homeless American Holocaust, and doing little videos here and there. Hopefully I got this audio issue fixed. Some people are saying that the audio levels are like way too low. So I will boost them up in CapCut, and like this internal screen recording is like being boosted too. I've got like an old PS5 headset, so like my mic quality is going to probably be always shit. So, if the channel really goes anywhere and Paul's still around, I might like invest in an actual proper mic. So thanks for all the feedback on that one. And like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm getting trolled by half the people anyway. Like, it's probably fine. I tested all this out. It's completely fine. I can always hear myself fine. Here and there, like, I get a little quiet, and I think the mix with Paul, when I'm talking over Paul without pausing, is sometimes a little like we drowned each other out. But like, I can really hear everything I'm saying. I can hear everything Paul's saying on almost everything I tested it with. But I'm guessing there are people who have setups that are like particular, and yeah, I might be like too quiet in the mix. Um, Yeah, some guy was saying like I can't enunciate. I don't enunciate properly, and like my voice and accent is too weird, and people don't understand. And yeah, I have got a range of opinions on this, so I don't know what's for real and what's true. I think there's a few people who are actually like interested in the channel and want to see it and want to see more content. So I will defer to their opinions on stuff. But yeah, thanks guys. Whether or not this is the end, yeah. All right. See you later, guys. Bye.